Greetings and salutations, viewers, for the land stars, and welcome to the Centennial Case, a Shijima Story. Apparently it is a mystery game, which is actually a full-motion video game, something we haven't seen in many years, actually.
Yeah, FMV definitely went out of fashion in the 90s very quickly.
Yes.
FMV games were definitely the new hotness back then, but then they realized that, like, oh yeah, we can't actually get, like, a ton of gameplay out of these. But, we know nothing, so let's...
Yep. All we know is it's a Square Enix game. It contains all the clues to solving the mystery. Who will be killed and by whom? Watch closely and reason it out. Okay.
I have a feeling this is going to be harder than Danganronpa.
I'd imagine. Let's see, we're somewhere in Tokyo.
We're at the Book Cafe work.
Yes. In 2022. Let's see, some kind of book signing for Haruka Kagami.
Thank you.
Okay.
Eiji!
You're quite the success. You're a bona fide best-selling mystery writer now, Haruka. Oh, here.
We couldn't have done it without your help, Eiji. Thank you.
It's nothing.
You should have told me you were coming. You didn't have to wait in line. Did you really come here for my autograph? Or are you here to see Akari?
No, it's not like that.
I came for the threesome.
Let's say I wanted to see the both of you.
Damn it, I was kidding!
Actually, I have a favor to ask.
I was kidding!
Guess they weren't.
There's a once-in-a-century succession at my family home, and I was hoping you could get some information for me.
Your family home? You mean that grand estate at the foot of Mount Fuji?
That's right. My family has spent many years on medical research. In particular, how to stop the aging process.
Uh-oh.
That can't be good.
It's embarrassing, but I had a huge fight with my father that ended with me leaving the family. And that's why I want you to do some investigating, while pretending to write a feature story.
What are we investigating?
The so-called fruit of youth. It's been passed down for generations in my family, and a recently unearthed skeleton.
At 3 p.m. yesterday, the police were informed that skeletal remains had been found at an estate in Tenmamura, Fujimine County, Shizuoka. The remains, of indeterminate age and gender, were buried under a large cherry tree. The police are trying to establish the identity of the deceased.
Pretty.
Very. They definitely have come a long way from FMVs.
Yeah, this is no Gabriel Knight 2.
Or Phantasmagoria. The Cherry Blossom Ceremony.
Oh god, this tastes like dish soap!
It's Citrus Mid Kit Kats?
Who'd have thought?
Possibly.
Eiji, a literary consultant.
Yes. Haruka here writes mystery novels, and he makes sure that all the science is sound.
That's kind of what my dad
So,
occasionally does for
he come
people.
up with the crime tricks too?
No, I devised them myself.
That's amazing. I read mysteries sometimes, but I never know who the culprit is. Is there some secret to figuring them out?
Well, it sounds obvious, but every story contains a mystery. And there will always be clues to help solve that mystery. Just try to connect these clues, and somehow you'll arrive at a hypothesis.
Connect the clues to the mystery.
Yes.
That sounds ominous.
Every story has a mystery, as well as clues to help solve that mystery.
Oh god, we're in a Nintendo Direct!
I may have been thinking it.
Cognitive space. I fit the mystery and clues together like a puzzle. Come up with a hypothesis and build a connected path of logic.
And I'm here to help with the reasoning, huh?
Yes.
No, you're here to be a go-go dancer.
We'll get you a nice suit and then you can have a nice day.
I was gonna say assless chaps and a bow tie, but...
Okay. Yep. This is the kind of reasoning space. On the left, you'll find some mysteries already in place with clues floating around them. Combine them to advance your reasoning. There are open spaces around mysteries. Mysteries and clues can be connected by placing relevant clues in these spaces.
Interesting.
Alright, so let's see. We got this mystery here. Okay. Let's see, what clues do we have exactly? Like, do I just do that?
Yep.
There we go.
Clues solve mystery solves the mystery of the mystery.
And then we get a hypothesis.
And the hypothesis is that there is a hypothesis when you connect clues to a mystery.
Clues help solve mysteries. Connecting the two creates hypothesis. Create multiple hypotheses to uncover the truth. Okay, so let's see. Switch scenes left and right. Move the path of logic back and forth. Press R for finer control or movement. So, in theory...
Well, something like that.
I see.
Connect the clues to the mystery and form a hypothesis. That's how you read a mystery novel.
Akari, you are an editor, right? How do you know E.G.?
I met him when we were looking for an advisor on scientific matters. We practically forced him to arrange today's session as well. Thank you so much for agreeing to meet us.
Ryoya insist on it. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
I see sword. This is actually going to wind up being the second Wolverine movie.
It's been ages since I last wore a kimono.
You look so
I kind of like that kimono.
She's right. I barely recognize you.
Well, I can't contend
I
the
can
cherry
see you
blossom
wearing that
ceremony
kimono,
in my
actually.
regular clothes. It
I
was all laid out
have
for
I
me,
worn a
and most
kimono?
importantly,
I can't imagine you would have.
There was a class I did on Japan when I was like in the 3rd grade, but I don't recall wearing a kimono in that.
What's more important? You wanted to look good for Akari, or what's most important?
I'm tempted to annoy him with X, but...
Well, let's try it.
You wanted to look good for Akari?
of course not.
All the same, I'm glad there was a spare kimono for him.
Whose kimono is it?
Actually, this kimono was made for me a long time ago.
300 years.
Yeah, like, I'm half expecting at this point that it's gonna be like, oh no, he turns out he's the dad who found out the use of fruit.
Yep.
Sorry. Have we met?
Yoyoi's only been with us for 3 years. Or perhaps you know one another from before?
No. There's just a familiar scent in the air.
That's not creepy.
That's probably me. I'm wearing a perfume with citrus.
That's also not creepy.
Now that you mention it, that does smell refreshing. Anyway, this is our live-in housekeeper, Yayoi. You wanted to see me?
You're fired.
Mr. Shijima,
asked me to gather the equipment for the cherry blossom ceremony, but I just can't find some of the items.
Let's look for them together, shall we? E.g., I will join you later. Everyone, please go on ahead to the Shijima cherry tree.
So, was that your mother, Eiji?
Or perhaps your stepmother?
How did you know?
Oh, well.
So okay. By connecting mysteries and clues, you'll create a hypothesis. Hypothesis is the most important part of your reasoning, and it's the key to revealing the truth of a case. Let's see. Proof that that's Eiji's stepmother. So does he come up with the crime tricks too?
So she doesn't know him real well. And I think if you hit the... Yeah, we'll get different things from different scenes.
Yeah.
So this early stuff isn't going to help us.
No, it's going to be further down.
I'm glad there was a spare kimono for him. She didn't know there was.
This one? Or was it... Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so I think both of those will.
Okay. She didn't know you had your own kimono.
Yep. And also the other clue there.
Yeah, the, oh. I guess that one doesn't count?
Or... Let's see if that'll let us also do that.
There we go. There seemed to be some distance between you two.
Okay, so both things lead to the same conclusion.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if, like, it gets more complicated where it'll have extra stuff later on. So, allegations present a hypothesis at the base of your reasoning. Must be created first.
I would go with the... She didn't know you had your own kimono.
Yeah.
It seemed like she didn't know you had your own kimono. A mother would definitely have known, and anyway, she's too young.
Very observant, Haruka.
Also, you were about to say something earlier, weren't you? Most importantly, my mother gave me this kimono. Is that what you were going to say?
Yoko is my father's second wife.
As far as I know.
After I left the family.
I see. Well, she seems nice.
Yeah. I guess.
She was in the house when the skeleton was found, correct? I've got to ask her about that later.
Just remember, you're supposed to be writing about the ceremony. I can't imagine what my father would say if he finds out what I've asked you to do.
What? Is he that scary?
Well, you'll see when you meet him.
Sure.
Well then.
He's actually the undead body of Oda Nobunaga.
That'd be an interesting twist.
He's gonna set a mountain of priests on fire later. To be fair, those priests are kind of dicks.
Wow. So this is the Shijima cherry
There's
tree.
just something so pretty about cherry tree in bloom.
Hell.
In 100 years.
Don't eat it.
Hell.
Can't imagine those are healthy.
Hell. Hell.
The skeleton was found under this tree, right?
Yeah. Who killed and buried that sad soul here, I wonder?
Killed?
The skeleton's chest bones had marks that suggested a knife wound, apparently.
But then, shouldn't the police be investigating this?
My father's in a standoff with the police right now. He told them not to say anything until the remains were identified.
And they listened?
But somehow, the story got leaked to the media. But the remains are nearly 100 years old, apparently. So the police have no reason to hurry. That's why I want to solve this mystery.
So what you want to know is...
The question is the identity of the skeleton or the identity of the killer?
I'd assume he'd be more interested in the identity of the skeleton, and that's potentially easier to figure out.
Yeah. But at the same time, the identity of the killer would probably be more of an interesting story to uncover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with this one and see how that goes.
The identity of the skeleton, right?
The identities of both the skeleton and the killer.
Say you do uncover the truth about this 100-year-old murder, then what?
It's of great importance to me, actually. I suspect that skeleton has something to do with the Shijima family's fruit of youth.
You've mentioned that fruit before. What is it?
More precisely, the Tokijiku no Kaku no Konomi. According to my mother, anyone who consumes this fruit will stop aging forever.
Like
It's mentioned
Tuck
in the Kujiku
Everlasting.
Chronicles. This fruit of youth has been passed down for generations in my family.
I may have been thinking about it with this.
My father won't tell me anything about it. But if it's somewhere in that house, I'm going to find it.
And become a Dracula.
Future of medicine.
Eiji, you realize it's
But then he'll
strange
end
for
up in
scientists to
Super
be saying
Mario
that, right?
Land.
But it isn't strange at all.
As-
Science
Which was that
offers
the one with
countermeasures to aging.
the hopping vampires?
Super Mario Land did have the hopping Chinese vampires, and Super Mario Land 2 randomly has Dracula in it.
They're like game tokens, and aging is what happens when tokens get spent. But some forms of life have an endless supply of these tokens.
Endless?
Yeah. Cancer cells, for example. They're able to multiply infinitely because their telomeres...
I don't think that's actually true. In fact, it's the telomeres going wrong that
That's
causes
why
them to
it isn't totally
duplicate.
bizarre that a fruit might contain components that stop aging.
A
So are you saying this
that
fruit
makes
is a
people
cancer?
ageless, and it's called
There are species of creature that have, like, never-ending telomeres. I want to say, like, there's... One of the crustaceans do, and I want to say certain forms of jellyfish do, but I can't swear to it. But biologists have been looking into those particular cells to see if they can arrest the aging process in humans.
I'm going to assume the first one, because I think that's the one he said, didn't he?
Both of those are part of it.
Kaku no kono.
Tokijiku no Kaku no Konomi. Let's shorten it to Tokijiku.
What does this Tokijiku have to do with our skeleton?
I found an account of a murder committed 100 years ago, and it mentions the Tokijiku. Based on the proximity and dates, that skeleton might just be related to this case.
A murder.
I don't know the details, but the Shijima family history is full of unsolved cases.
I'm sorry, what?
Unnatural deaths, that sort of thing. Please, Haruka. I want to know the Tokijiku's whereabouts and the truth behind my family's involvement in that skeleton. Will you help me?
Of course.
I'd be glad to help. But where should I start?
I have just the reading material for you.
Reading material?
You do?
And it's right up your...
Didn't think you'd be the first one here.
Long time no see, Eiji.
You really think you can just waltz back in here and interfere with the family's succession?
You're Haruka Kagami, aren't you? Author of the Detective Makoto Nishimari series.
You know about it?
Of course. Look, Kazunaga. She created Makoto Nishimari. You know, with the cool catchphrase, the path of logic lines up.
Never heard of it.
This is Haruka Kagami, a writer, and her editor, Akari Yamase. My older brother, Kazunaga, and my younger brother, Mitsunori.
Nice to meet you. Just wondering, what brings you two here?
Haneka's writing a feature story.
About the skeleton under the cherry tree. I bet a mystery writer like you can't get enough.
Wow.
Yeah. What a jerk.
This guy must have 0 friends. I'm dying to know more. Is the answer you're looking for, yes?
Given your expertise, why don't you try figuring it out yourself? The identity of that skeleton, I mean. Then you can proclaim the path of logic lines up.
Odd choice for English VA.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it almost gives me Peter Griffin vibes. Or Joe Swanson.
Ominous music.
Let me guess. Daddy Dearest?
Eiji, long time no see.
Dad, you're looking well.
You look terrible in a kimono.
Thanks, Dad.
Then it's good that I'll never have to wear one for work.
Not that you look any better in a lab coat, mind you.
Damn.
Okay, so we have to obtain clues with Y.
Okay. You also press those during video sequences to check for clues. Okay. So...
After leaving the family, what exactly have you been researching?
That's none of your business.
So be it. Welcome. I am Ryoe Shijima.
Hi.
And you must be the best-selling writer.
Let's see. Best-selling is a bit of a stretch.
What? You've heard of... I think you've heard of me.
Yeah, that would probably be the nicer one.
You have heard of me?
I haven't read any of your books, though. So you're interested in our cherry blossom ceremony. This ceremony is an important family tradition, held once every 100 years. Feel free to take part and ask questions, but I ask you not to interfere.
Oh, I bet you murder someone to water the tree to get the fruit to stay immortal.
I can believe that, yeah.
Thank you. I promise we won't cause any inconvenience.
To be honest, that skeleton has attracted a lot of unwanted media attention. Such a nuisance. If this story of yours can help clarify matters, we'd be very grateful.
Who's that?
Oh, that's our gardener, Takehiko Kusakari. He's looked after this cherry tree for us for many years.
How many years?
Like 100?
You should be proud, Kusakari.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Then let us begin.
Oh, nope, they're still bowing.
Keep bowing.
Keep bowing.
Keep bowing.
Keep bowing.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Are we coming back? Okay, we're going back up.
Okay.
Yep, okay. We didn't mess things up. Nope. Everything's fine here.
Yep. Please don't curse us.
Please don't feed us to the demon tree. See, the tree's going Super Saiyan.
Yes. Huh? Did we win?
Forget about.
Unless it's a case of, like, the credits happen in between.
I mean, that was the prologue, so...
True. Oh.
A Shijima Story. Is there more than one of these?
I don't know.